Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So now that we've given a kind of an overview to the whole terrain exporter thing that we're going to be putting together here in session 10, let's go ahead and get our project set up.
Yep, so need a new project. So new project and browse. Let's throw this inside of train R&D VTM version. I made a new train folder 10 for this session. And I will make a new folder here. This will be our train exporter. So this was a tough call because originally I was calling it train baker, but that was driving me nuts. So now it's the train exporter. So there's our train exporter. We're going to select the folder. Not going to add anything to it. Just hit create. Oh yeah, hey, look, some of my other work. Ignore that. This is me being just messy. Matter of fact, I'm going to get rid of it now.
Drag drop to another monitor. Hooray!
Yay! Yeah, that's my paying job. Ignore that. I forgot about that mess. It was a long morning. Let's see. But they don't care about that. They want to know how to, make massive worlds, right?
Yes.
So, all right, here we go. We're going to start off like we do with most projects, is going to be creating some folders. Let's start with code. Create folder. And this one will be scripts. And we'll make another folder. This one will be scenes.
And as Lee is walking through putting this together, keep in mind you can always fast forward as you know how to set up projects, though there are going to be a few important things in this setup.
Yeah, particularly this one.
Yep.
Resources. And I'm going to create a subfolder for it, which will be textures. Because this project is going to temporarily have the train manager in it. So I need to have a resources folder with texture so I can put the stuff that the train system is going to need inside of this. Another new folder that you guys have not seen yet is the data folder. This guy is where we're going to be putting in all of the stuff that's going to be part of the train system that is needed for the train system, that is going to be exported as asset bundles for the train system. And this is where we're going to be putting in our prefabs, or OBJs that are going to be imported and turned into prefabs for us. So all that is going to live inside of data, inside of assets. And we're going to have another comparable structure outside of the asset folder that is going to mimic this folder structure. And that is where the asset bundles are going to live once they've been baked out. So inside of here, we'll create several folders. We're going to have a train folder. Inside of train, we'll have another folder. This will be common. And then on the same level as common, we will have a patches folder. Inside of common, we'll have another resources folder. And then inside of this resources folder, we'll have a materials folder. A shaders folder. And we will have a textures folder. So I'm going to scroll this up for now so I can start dragging and dropping some stuff in here. Now, let's see. Also code inside of here. I'm going to add a couple more just for fun. Let's add our features folder. Our noise folder. And we'll need a train system folder. And another new one. And this will be our editor folder. Now, did the editor extension videos ever go out?
No, they have not.
Okay, so you guys have not seen editor extensions yet. Editor extensions are scripts that we can write that will extend the functionality of the editor. They only work inside of the editor. So the code that you put in here is not something that you can use in your own standalone builds of your games. Now, the rule with this is they have to live in a folder called editor. So we're going to have to make that folder called editor. Notice no square brackets. It has to be editor. Just like resources has to be resources. So same principle there.
Mm-hmm.
So all of our editor extension scripts will go into this particular folder. So I just wanted to see if anybody had the pleasure of going through those fun videos.
There are a few people like Gavin that have seen those videos, but not the majority.
Gotcha. All right. What I'm going to do now is, just so people don't freak out and go, hey, where's he getting all this stuff from? I am going to be pulling from my other monitor under our Train 09 assets code. So I'm going to be pulling code from the stuff that we've already done.
That's right. For those of you that followed along and completed session 9, you have this stuff already.
Right. So I'm going to bring in features. I'm going to bring in noise. And then from our train system, I'm going to bring in our train mesh and our train generator. So, and name utils does not exist, so I'm going to need to grab that one as well. So that one is here. And I'll drop that one inside of code. So that makes those errors go away. So now we've got the baseline information that we need. Let me look at some of the other stuff that we need. We're going to need some materials. So the material that I need is going to be this material that lives inside of our asset folder inside of these respected folders. So if you're wondering where I'm grabbing this stuff from, so this will be our material. And then I've got shaders. We're not going to bring that in because that's the sculpting one. And I haven't shown you the really cool one yet. That's coming though at some point. And then inside of textures, I'm going to need our grass texture. Let that import. Apparently it's taking some time. Our train detail bump. And then we're going to scroll down and jump real quick to this textures folder down here outside of our data. And this is where we're going to grab the world data TGA file. This is the file that is needed for the train generator to do its magic. Now with this one though, very special requirement. I'm going to set this now so I don't forget. Set that to the 248. And then advanced settings, enable read and write. and then we can hit apply. So
Do
that
you want to
one,
generate maps?
for this one, doesn't really matter, but I will turn it off. It's not going to sample the maps anyways.
Right.
So, but the other one that we need to deal with is going to be our terrain detail map. We need to turn it into a normal map. I'm going to set this to 0.15. And we'll use smooth and 256. We'll just hit apply. So that will give us that. Grass can stay as is. And our material, I'll go ahead and drag this stuff up. So our material is properly set up. I'm not really worried about tiling yet. Though, once you start playing around with it, you definitely want to have these settings all dialed in before we export our common asset bundle. Because these settings apply when we export our asset bundle. So we can't, well, we could change it, but it becomes more difficult. All right, so we've got resources taken care of. We've got the common resources taken care of. Patches we haven't generated yet, but that's enough for data for now. We have everything but our script that I want to create here. So we're going to create a new C# script. This will be our game manager script. So we'll create that one. And then I want to save the scene, but just before I save the scene, let's go into project settings. We'll jump into player, set it to run in background. Then go to our quality settings. Set our editor up to fantastic quality. And then for this one, I'm not really going to worry about a skybox or fog because this is just the preview, the stuff when we're going to export. It doesn't really have to look good here.
Right.
So then we'll go to File, Save Scene As, go to Scenes, and this will be our terrain exporter. Alright, so that gets our scene saved. Now, let's go ahead and sync our mono-develop project. I'll move this out of the way, don't need that for now. Alright, now let's go ahead and open up Visual Studio, which decided to open up on the other monitor. So we'll open up here. Some cleanup. And go ahead and get rid of that, and that, and this, and that. All right. And close this one. And that should be all of our stuff for here. So I can jump back over. Game object, create empty. Game manager, and zero it out. Take our game manager, drag and drop it onto our game manager, and save our project. And that should be everything that we need to have our terrain exporter project set up initially. This is based off of all of the assets that we've used previously, our textures, our material, and the code that we've already written. We're going to be coming back and we're going to be modifying some of this code. Specifically, the code that we're really going to be modifying is going to be this train mesh. And there is actually one other thing I forgot to do while I'm here. Let me jump into here because I'm going to need outside of here. Let's go into our train 09, go and grab this config folder. So I'm going to copy this, and we'll go into our train 010, our train exporter. I'm going to paste this folder here, and then I need to make a new folder, which will be our data folder. This is where everything's going to get placed inside of everything that's exported from our terrain editor. All of our asset bundles are going to be inside of this data folder, inside of the equivalent folder structure that we have here. So where this one will have prefabs, we'll actually have asset bundles instead of prefabs once this is all baked out.
Okay.
So that should be everything we need for initial project setup. I'm going to go ahead and save this one last time. Okay. And that should be it for this video.
Fantastic. Well, with that, that's going to wrap things up, and we will see you guys in the next video.